Oh, and it was a long time ago. I have just entered the university. The guy called me and asked if I wanted to go for a walk. Of course, I answered that I wanted. But another question arose. Where to go for a walk if you were bored of all the places? We collected and listed everything we could. And then I joked, "Let's go for a walk around the cemetery?" I laughed, and in response I heard a serious voice that agreed. It was impossible to refuse, as I did not want to show my cowardice. Mishko came to pick me up at 8 in the evening. We drank coffee, watched a movie, and took a shower together. When it was time to get ready, Misha told me to wear something black or dark blue. I didn't care, to be honest, what I would be wearing. The main thing is to experience a romantic walk. It seemed to me that I would definitely not survive it. We got together, left home. Mishko got behind the wheel, even though I had a license for a long time. 15 minutes later we were there. I struggled for a long time, did not get out of the car. My beloved helped me. He offered his hand like a gentleman. If it weren't for his gentlemanly gesture, I would have stayed in the salon. Came out, he took my hand. Everywhere was cold. The cold, shell, and from his hand. My heart trembled as if from the cold. Intuition told me very strongly that we were not going anywhere. But my second half did not believe in intuition and its existence. We were walking somewhere, past the graves, in silence. When I got really creepy, I offered to come back, but there was no response. I looked in the direction of Bear, and she saw that he was completely transparent. Like Casper from a famous old movie, the light of the moon seemed to completely penetrate his body. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. A lump in my throat prevented me from doing it. I yanked my hand out of his. But she saw that everyone was fine with his body, that he had become the old man. But it could not have seemed to me. I clearly saw that the beloved's body was covered with transparency. I can't say exactly how long it was before we left for home. I was just happy that the car started right away. It's just that I know what happens in movies and series of the creepy genre. I was so cold that I asked Mikhailo to turn on the stove. In the summer, can you imagine? I can't even imagine. We left. And when the cemetery ended, I again saw how Misha became invisible and transparent for a moment. After a few seconds, he was normal and familiar again. He turned to me, I was sitting in the back seat, and said that we would go the other way. I was surprised. After all, there were very few cars in the city, 1, 2 probably, but I did not persuade him to go along the former route. I was glad that our walk was over. The heart was beating restlessly. I wrote everything down to emotions. We drove faster and faster. I asked to slow down, but Mishko said that he really wanted to go home. At the last turn, a truck drove into us. I woke up in the hospital. I don't know how long I lay there. The most terrible thing is that Mikhailo died, and my intuition warned me. She was giving me a sign. But what could I do with such a stubborn person as Mikhailo? He was buried in the same cemetery. I did not go to the funeral, as my condition left much to be desired. I haven't dated anyone since then. It seems to me that I am cursed by someone, and my curse is spreading.